Hi everyone. Okay, welcome to my live for this week. I'm Miranda. I run Smart Mama, Smart Kids Parenting, if you didn't know that already, which you probably do. So our live this week is all about willful small child. I've got toddler, preschooler, willful behaviour from your small child. Okay, so I'm talking about kids sort of 4 and under. What do you do when your kids are demonstrating this really willful behaviour? Now, just before we keep on going, I release videos like this every single week. So don't forget, hit the bell, subscribe, and you'll receive a notification when another video comes up that's going to help you be the best parent that you can be to your small children. You're out somewhere or you're at home or whatever, and they decide they're just going to start throwing things, or they're just going to start running around, and you tell them not to, and they don't listen, and they just start being silly, and then they're being impulsive, and this sort of stuff where they just will not listen to you. What do you do? Okay, hands up if you've been there, drop a like. Yeah, totally been there, and still quite often there, to be honest. Okay, so what do you do when your child is like that? Okay, this is my tip for what you can do. It's just an idea for when your child's being really willful like that. Okay, number one, you could always just give them a hug, give them something else to do. There's lots of different things that you can do with them. But by and large, if they're doing things consistently that you do not want them to do, throwing things, going a bit silly, running around the house, all that sort of stuff, what we need to do is to let them understand that you will actually stop them. Okay, and I don't just mean right that second. I mean, when this gets too far, I'm actually going to be stopping you. Okay, there is nothing wrong with being firm with your child. There is nothing wrong with completely. Obviously, what we want to do is love our kids. We want to be positive parents. We want to be giving them lots of encouragement and praise and things like that. We definitely want to be doing that. Okay, but at the end of the day, if they're going silly, if they're doing things that are endangering their own safety, someone else's safety, or just the well-being of the house, your own headspace, that sort of thing, if they're going silly, they need to understand that you are actually going to stop that. Okay, and what methods could you use or would you use to stop that? Okay, if your child is, obviously we're talking about small children, if your child's going silly, you can get them on your lap and read them a story. You can go, you know what, today is crazy, we're going outside now, we are not staying inside anymore, because obviously the energy level in here is at 100 plus and we don't want it to be, so we're going to go outside and do something. Get up and go for a walk, try a reset, anything like that. If your child's a really sensory child, get out some sensory stuff, get out some Play-Doh, get out some, I don't know, some of those, especially if they're really small, some of those books with the touchy-feely things in them. Anything like that that you can get out that will bring their focus, I suppose, bring their focus, bring their attention, even for a little while, down onto those things, or outside they can run out some of their energy. Those sorts of things are really great, because at the end of the day, we would much rather distract our child than have a head-to-head confrontation with them. But whatever the case is, your child needs to understand that you will be stopping them from exhibiting those behaviours. Okay, whether that means you have to put them in timeout in the end, and you have to sit with them, or time in, or whatever you want to call it. You have to sit with them, or you have to put them there and say, you're staying there while I'm here folding the washing, or whatever it is. And you might have to sit with them, but whatever it is, they need to understand that actually it stops. The behaviour at the end of the day is stopping, and I am the parent, and we are going to stop it, regardless of what that takes to a point. Okay, so it's so healthy for our kids to know that. And why is it so healthy? Why is it so good for kids to know that actually there is an end point? I'm not allowed to just do whatever I want. Okay, boundaries are really great like that, because limits, boundaries, there are different words that you can use for the same thing. They're really great. It's great when your child knows that you will be stopping them when they need it, because they can't stop themselves when they need it. They don't know when they have to, go to bed in 10 minutes, or they don't know when they're going to run around a corner and slip over and crack their head on the edge of the wall, which happens regularly if people run in my house, which is why we don't run in the house. Of course they do it, and then I have to tell them not to every time, But the kids can't understand that. They can't see that far ahead. And we're talking small kids. Like, we're not even talking, 6, 7, 8-year-olds. We're talking small children, okay? So if they don't understand those things. So for us, it's up to us as parents to enforce, I said enforce, the fact that when we ask them not to do something, especially if it's something like that, then we actually mean what we say. Then we're demonstrating, again, we are demonstrating to our child that they can trust us, that we are to be trusted with their well-being, even though it's not what they want necessarily. They can trust us. They can trust us with their well-being, okay? Knowing they're going to be kept safe as possible, knowing they're going to be helped out to do something else with that energy, show them how to use that energy in a different way. As I said before, go outside, or help them to use that energy in a productive way. You can't just go stop what you're doing and then expect them to stop. You actually usually need to, especially with small kids, you really need to go stop. You can't do that, but let's do this together instead. So once you've seen what you think their needs are, say stop, but how about we whatever, or how about you go outside, or how about blah blah blah. Okay, because then you're not just expecting them to stop. They're not just going to stop. That's when the activity really starts to become more of a confrontation, because you're actually not giving them an out. You've not given them any out. You've just said, stop that. Well, that's great. And you should be able to say, stop that, and they should stop, yes. But that's in a perfect world. That rarely happens, or not for long anyway, or they stop and then they start again. So if you say, stop doing this, let's do this instead. Or stop doing this because you might fall over and hurt yourself. Now we're going to go outside, or now we're going to go play with Play-Doh. Or why don't we sit and read a book together? Or why don't we, turn on some music and jump around because you've got so much energy if it's a rainy day. Or bringing in something different, but not allowing them to continue that behaviour that you do not want them to do, or that is unsafe. Okay, so it's up to us as parents. I see parents sometimes and they're running around after their child, trying to stop them doing things. As a parent, it's our job to make sure that we are firm enough that our kid knows what we're talking about, okay? And we obviously have to teach them, but you can't just be firm. You've got to be loving, you've got to be patient as much as you can be. You've got to input all those positive things so that when you say stop, your kid is very likely to stop every time, because they understand that you're not doing things just because you don't want to be there, okay? So that's pretty much my tip for today. So when you need to stop your child, you need to let them know that yes, you will actually be stopping them. You're not going to say stop and then they're going to keep going and going and going. No, if you want them to stop, you need to say stop, and then you need to go and make them stop, okay? It is really hard. Hands up if it's hard. It's so hard, and it requires being a proactive parent, which I've been talking about for a while, and it is really hard. So if you find it hard, what do you find hard? Which activities do you find hard to get your kids to stop? Our kids know that when we say stop, we actually mean stop. So do your kids know that? What do they do? Drop a comment below. Okay, see you later, guys. Do you feel overwhelmed, unconfident, and like you just don't know what to do as an early years mum? Don't worry, this is the same for lots and lots of people, and I have a special invitation for you today. If you look below in the description, you will be able to see a link to my 20-minute Can I Help You call. This is a free call, free for mums who want to just find out whether or not coaching is a good idea for them, and whether or not I will be able to help you with your stuff. Okay, so if you feel overwhelmed, don't keep feeling overwhelmed. Don't keep feeling unconfident. Start doing something about it today and give yourself and your children the best gift that you possibly could, and find out, jump on there, book a call with me and find out whether or not coaching is something that could really, really help you and boost you into the parent that you want to be. Okay, bye.